Hello there, and welcome to the Hugh Hat-Trick channel on a very special occasion when three men try and review the Grand Turismo movie. Now, we're a little bit late. It's probably been out for nearly a year. I think it was about October, November last year when it came out. But finally, we've all been able to get together to discuss what we think of the Gran Turismo movie. As we are big GT7 fans and we play it quite a bit, we thought it would be fun to see if this movie was any good. Now, we've all seen the film. Some of us gave up 3/4 of the way through. Some of us managed to watch the whole thing. But is the movie any good? Is it worthwhile watching? Or is it, as they would have said, straight to DVD special?
No, yes.
So, let's start the trailer. We've got Rue there as well. Tin Man is in there. Can you start the trailer?
Given up already.
Or has he gone? Well, this is a picture of a man riding a bicycle.
In Cardiff.
It's in Cardiff. This is based on Jan.
In Cardiff or is it Swansea? It's Wales, anyway.
Yeah. Now, it's Jan Mardison, I think it is. No doubt.
Well, it's an actor, but yeah.
Yes, playing Jan Manderson. Is it Manderson? I'll need to find
yeah, I probably should have done that before we started. I'll look that up. While you're talking away, I'll just look up all about this film.
Yeah.
And
it had some quite famous people in it. It had Christian Horner's wife.
Christian Horner's wife.
Jerry Halliwell.
Yes.
Jerry Halliwell's.
That fantastic singer and dancer.
Yeah.
Yes. So she was in it, and it wasn't at all wooden acting. That
No, you're right. It wasn't wooden acting because it wasn't acting.
It was. I think you can probably tell where this is going, but
I thought it was amazing.
So
listen,
can we watch?
I know I don't let anybody else talk. However, I'm not going to let anybody else talk right now, and I'm just going to say that.
You're speechless.
I forgot what I was going to say.
IMDb.
This movie got a really good review by the Critical Drinker, and we like the Critical Drinker. He's very good on a lot of stuff. But
balanced, actually, I know. Everybody goes, oh, he's racist. No, he's not. He's actually
commits.
He is.
He's written books. He's written screenwriters. He's got a particular idea, and he's just decided that he wanted to make a persona. But the thing is he wasn't the only one I'd seen.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only one seen that gave it a positive review. But none of these people are into racing.
Yeah.
Or into sim racing. I mean, I'm not into... I suppose I am now. It's your fault. That wasn't my middle finger. I'm just...
Right. Blame a Scotsman. I don't mind.
Oh! Ooh!
We'll beat you.
Racist!
We beat you at the rugby, sir.
Anyway. Blaming a wee English for a hell, you know.
Blomkamp may have directed the best 90-minute sports movie of the decades. Shame it's 2.5 hours long.
Where's that from, John?
That's
Where's
quite good. It's just some bloke on
Roger Rock.
Yes.
You should be Roger Ramjet. Oh, you should have asked me first.
So, shall we play a little bit of the trailer and let our viewers...
Play the trailer. So this is the trailer. Let me just do this. Hold on. So what's got this thing? You got to be on the right window in Windows, apparently. Ooh. Okay.
There we go.
So this is the trailer. This is the official trailer 2. I'm not even going to go to trailer 1 because you'll see why.
Watch the screen and see.
I've got to not give spoilers.
Well, I think everyone's seen it by now anyway.
I don't think it's a good secret.
I hadn't.
Have you not seen it?
I've never seen this before. Why would I? What the hell? It's Hollywood.
A movie
review. It is awful. Come on. So the guy that plays the main guy, I've got to say,
where is Headloo? Is he from Headloo?
Who?
Headloo, please.
Oh my God, he's in Wales.
Headley.
Listen, you people. Oh my God, you English people that can't speak any other language apart from bloody crap English. You is an E sound. Double D's not duh. It's
Where
a
is Headley?
compound letter, and it's right.
It's
In
the Headley
English, you
police.
get the and the, which in English is th. But fortunately, you don't have to guess in Welsh because there's two different letters. Th is the, and double D is the. And if you can't say that, you can't speak bloody English, actually.
Headley.
This
Headley.
little. It's
Headley.
not hard. Seriously, it's not hard. And I'm English.
Headley.
Leicestershire. I want to kill you all.
Leicestershire. Is it
Yes.
Headley? Where is Headley? Where the hell is Headley? Is it in Leicestershire?
Headley means police, you dunce, you
It's
northeastern,
the Headley
bloody
police. So
half
why is it the
Scottish
police?
Viking.
Headley. So what we've learned from Rose, Headley's in Leicestershire.
Headley is not in Leicestershire. I am from Leicestershire, but I can still understand that there are pronunciations that are not English. In the same way that I can understand that people from the south say butter instead of butter, and the people up in the northeast say all right. Speaking for a friend.
It's Headley. We're in Headley High Street.
Headley.
Police are
Headley.
following.
Just play the video.
Are playing Young Langston.
Play the video. Play the
Play the
video.
video.
For those who are still with us.
Roll.
I hear
the
him
film.
say Headley. Headley.
Headlington.
Headley.
Heavily.
Headley Police from Headley in Wales. Right.
Right. Let's play the trailer. And
Speaking
Give
of
up.
Englishman, wherever this is, it's going to be Cardiff, isn't it? And I'm doing a proper Cardiff accent by you.
Headley. Headley Police.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Shut up!
I'm not missing my race.
Even though I'm in Cardiff,
Colorado.
nobody parks on these streets today.
That's not a registration plate. PA34 is not a registration plate. That's not a registration plate.
Him and his registration plate.
if we don't talk, it will play better. Well,
No,
we
it
want
won't. It doesn't make any difference. CA34 3AB. That's not a
Wave
registration
your
plate.
thing. Show everybody. Wave your thing. Wave your thing. Come on, Hat-Trick. Wave it. Take command. That's the chairman.
Right, come on. Don't talk
What
so
is
we
that?
can see
That's
the
not
screen.
a roller. That's not. What
Uh,
we picked one. Come on.
The thing is,
Thank
it's see-through, and
you
you won't be able to see it. It won't come
Right.
up very
I'd like to
clearly.
point out that this is a Volkswagen Corrado VR6. Now, it didn't handle as well as the Volkswagen Corrado G60, which is the 1.8 litre 8-valve engine, but with a really clever supercharger on it, which was small, very small. They did have problems with belt slippage, but they took an engine that was 112 brake horsepower, took it to 160 brake horsepower, and it had torque from idle up to 7,000 RPM. Oh, I love it, and I want one. I want two. I want
YouTube
five.
supercharger. But
Passive
it's a 34
rear
plate. It's a 34 plate car. So that's
Yeah, it's 10 years
Yeah, it's all, mate. That's crap.
2034.
Then they put the VR6 engine, the 2.8 litre VR6 engine. It was a lot more power, but it had a lot more weight at the front, so it did not handle as well.
But
And
it's
I want-
VW and Audi. They take the biggest engine and they put it as near the front as possible. So we can get it as
Yeah, but
near
to
the
be
front.
fair,
As
this is
near
because
the
it's
front.
VR6.
Let's
This
see
is
if we can-
transverse.
Let's
This is
push the
transverse.
drill forward.
Basically,
the engine
it's a
even
Golf
further forward.
coupe. And with the G60 engine, it was superb. It had passive rear steering. So the back wheels used to do that when you cornered, and it stabilised it. And I'm going to press play now. Thanks.
I go to jail!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap.
Columbia.
Listen,
PlayStation.
son. You think you're gonna play a stupid video game about cars, or you're gonna become a race car driver?
All I ever wanted to do is
What's
be
his
a
face?
racer
In an
and
American radio.
The ten of you are
God,
the
the
best.
Galaxy.
American
Grand Turismo
it's
planes in the
Legolas.
world.
Oh,
Now is your
trains
chance
in
to
Wales.
race real cars. This is insane.
It's not going to work. The guys who race are elite athletes. Your kids are scrawny little gamer kids.
That's where you come in.
he's an
Orlando
excellent
You think you can do the impossible.
example.
I'm here to prove that you can't.
You get tired, you get sloppy,
Stranger
you
Things.
get sloppy, you get hurt, and you lose places.
My God.
You puked on my lawn.
I know what I'm doing.
Can
I'm not
anyone
afraid.
that in it?
I've raced this track 1,000 times in the game. Let me drive it my way.
That was actually pretty great.
We have a newcomer this year. His presence is shaking the foundation of the sport.
It's just
Now
the
it's
major leagues. The other drivers, your pit crew are going to hate you.
Animal!
Much easier with a joystick.
Oh,
His presence is
Animal!
shaking the foundation of the sport.
Animal!
It's just the major leagues.
Animal!
The other drivers, your pit crew are going to hate you.
Much easier with
Everybody
a
hates
joystick, isn't it?
Big Boo's not
I
going to
can't
do that.
see anything.
They want you to win. That doesn't happen unless you're a Mercedes.
Most people
God, he's
can't.
looking old.
I got a feeling you're not most people.
How did he get there?
If I lose more than just
No.
a race. So I'm not going to quit.
You've got to prove to everyone
They're not.
that you belong.
What is that, man?
You've raced it, what, like 1,000 times? Now you just got to do it in real life.
Grand Turismo, based on a true story.
Dear.
there you go.
Okay,
you
stop
can see
sharing
already
the screen,
these
please.
no attention to detail because he's driving a car with no registration, but that never made sense. He's in Headloo city centre, wherever that is, and his father works at the rail yards, which is apparently in the American Midwest, full of American trains.
Yeah.
Yes! Not in Cardiff. Cardiff.
Not in Cardiff or Headloo. Yeah. So it's so bad already. I don't even really know what to say. I give it the ruler. And it's in the film as well. I have had the misfortune to see the film. I was on a long haul flight, so I couldn't really escape. So I sat with the damn thing. And
So
it's terrible.
you watch films while you're flying? What the hell?
I wasn't trying
Well,
to say
the thing is, it's
down
been done.
the back.
I
Down the back.
We can't all speak together, otherwise we won't hear each other. We need to kind of give each other a chance to actually speak. The problem is, I think, and we've discussed this a little bit before,
I love you so much.
is the fact it's been made for a very young Grand Turismo audience. And of course, they want it to be. They want it to be. They want it to be.
God, this is why we see. John, you really need to make more time in your calendar.
Dear.
This show, you really do.
Okay,
You're just
let's list the things that are wrong with it.
The Vauxhall Corrado was not. That's not a car.
Vauxhall.
The Volkswagen Corrado VR6 was never available on a 34 plate because there's no such thing as a 34 plate.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
Yeah.
Also, they want to make everything as
51.
close as it can be. And everything, the racing action is ridiculously close and overdone, and also the shots. You can't get a focus on one picture for more than about 2 seconds before they change it to something else.
So it's like Formula One now.
Yes, yeah, very
Yeah,
much.
that's true. That's a good point. It is.
Everything's moving all the time. You can't.
Formula One film's going to be just the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we won't let you see what's happening. We want to give you action. And now also because of Drive to Slaverate, we want to give you I've forgotten the word.
Tomatoes?
Jeopardy!
Jeopardy!
I should write these words down. I should write them on a piece of paper so I can look at them and go, yeah, Jeopardy. I want to say the word Jeopardy.
Like a Biden speech for these
It's pretty much what the directors of all these directors of Formula One do these days. We want to give Jeopardy. But unfortunately, these days, what they've got a direct line. They're going to go like this. They go, "Hello, we got no jeopardy. Very good driver. Very good driver at front.
Yep.
Very good. Very good
Yeah,
car.
very good.
You like? We
Yeah.
want the jeopardy. Safety car, please.
Safety.
Safety car now.
Safety. It's so dangerous. So dangerous. Yes, you have the
Yeah,
job.
it's a very big danger. Why is my screen so blurry? What the
You can be
That's right,
the
your camera.
writing director.
Shut
the
up.
next film.
Not my camera. This is a 1080 screen bloody camera. What's going on here?
And the rail yard. I'm sorry, his father worked in a rail yard, which apparently is in Cardiff, but it actually has American rolling stock in it. All
Yes.
American trains. I mean, I haven't been to Wales for a while, but I don't think they have big American trains. I think
Don't come here.
they have like
They
normal
build
trains.
with nutters.
Then
Like
there is
a
the
Reaver train.
Oh,
Wales.
it's got to be better.
Headley train.
You see that?
It's working again.
Ooh.
It was working.
It did this the other day, didn't it? Well, it didn't seem to understand how to focus. Logitech. Okay, so for everybody out there, slight aside, Logitech cameras, I thought were brilliant. I've been using Logitech stuff for a bunch of years. I've got 3 Logitech cameras, but apparently Logitech, in their wisdom, because they knew everything, didn't think anyone would ever do streams like today where they would need more than one camera. So they've actually got drivers and firmware and the design of their cameras, which means they don't work together. They're just
genius.
So if you've got more than one plugged in, they just won't work. So if you're on OBS and you try to use 2 cameras, it goes, well, I can't find that one. Well, it finds it. It just doesn't give you a picture.
It's not very logical or very technical or very logi-technical.
So, I mean,
right, back to the movie. So we've found out that it's bad because it's been filmed in the wrong places, and it's using cars that don't exist or number plates that don't exist, and kind of ridiculous kind of.
You mean
car
what we're
chases.
trying to say here, Patrick, is a total lack of attention to detail
and
of the
originality.
filmmakers, which you kind of would hope from people paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Do you think you could seriously get a look?
Well, Sony backed
millions
it.
of dollars
Sony backed it. Yeah.
to have attention to detail. Look at that Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo.
So the team that got the bit that got me was the fact when they were driving racing along, and he just thinks to himself, "You've just got to commit." And when he says commit, the car just goes 20 miles an hour faster. And I'm like, oh, that's all you do. You just shout commit. And then you
No, that's great. No, that's great. I get it. No, this is really clever. Honestly, this is really clever. Because think about it, right? So we've had 10 films.
Yeah.
10 films that started the concept that if you're going on in a straight line, in a performance car, in a race, you can't change gear until the script says you need to not be overtaken. So I may or may not be talking about Fast and the Furious, where a car is full speed down a straight, another car is coming past him because of reasons. Yeah, go. Red one, yeah. But then the yellow one that's got the good guy in it changes into 20th gear.
Commit.
And then they win, man. They just win.
If only I'd known.
Didn't know they had that gear.
I
They never knew it was there. Oh my god!
All I had to do was shout commit, and I'd just go.
And as we all know, if you don't commit to a braking maneuver, your tyres don't grip properly.
And then you go.
Only when you get it wrong because you're a rookie and your pit crew that definitely doesn't want you to win. They definitely. No pit crew ever wants anybody to win. What's that? Oh, but you don't die when you end over end. I mean, one of the greatest racing drivers of all time, Jim Clark, was driving in a straight line and died. I love that engine so much. It sounds so.
The thing with Jim Clark, they don't know it. Well, they think was it maybe a dog that ran out onto the track or something something ran out onto the track, and
they don't know. But whatever the hell it wasn't what his
commit.
I know I'm with everybody, including all of his compatriots. Everybody. There's not a single person on this planet who thinks Jim Clark made a mistake.
Yeah.
No, something broke.
Yeah, I'll take the Diablo. Sorry. It's got a roof.
So we've got already a list of things that we don't like about it. Then it comes to the actual acting itself, which is about as wooden as you can get. I mean, that's what broke me. I got about 3/4 of the way through, and I just could not take any more. It was almost like they'd been told to say, to have no emotion into any of the script at all, or any of the scenes. So it was just like they're reading it off a script, and they were just talking as normal. So there was no sense of any kind of.
You're talking no sort of like what's the word?
There's no passion.
Or buy into it.
Yeah.
Which consider they're paid actors, and at least two of them. So you got Legolas, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah. He was okay, and then the other chap.
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen the film yet. Shut up, man.
The
other guy whose name I can't remember, who was in The Equalizer. Have you seen The Equalizer? Have you seen The Equalizer?
Oh, yes, he was. Yeah, he was in the first one, wasn't he?
Denzel. I mean, he can't be as good as Denzel. I mean, come on. It's Denzel.
No, it wasn't. It was one of the. He was a police officer. He was a corrupt.
Yeah, dodgy police.
Oh, yeah, in Equalizer 3.
He was also Santa.
He really is. And there's the really famous TV show Stranger Things, like a sci-fi style. It's what made Billy Bobby, wherever the fuck, famous because she was like a girl with superpowers. I watched episode 1 and I got bored, but he was really good in that. You know, he's in it, and he's a superb actor. He's a superb, but you can only work with what you're given, mate.
Yeah.
There's not many people that can work with what they're given and make it look good. Denzel's one of them.
Yeah.
This guy maybe not so much.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was the parents of Jan that were as wooden as anything, which of course were played by Jerry Halliwell and another chap. And it's you might have
the guy that worked in the American Rail Yard in Cardiff.
Yes, it just was really bad, and you think, come on, let's make it interesting.
I mean, commuting all the way to Ohio every day must be exhausting. You got to work when you live in Cardiff.
From near Cardiff.
Near Cardiff
in the year that Corrados were not made.
And then there was an interesting part.
Cardiff police officers can do perfect handbrake turns.
The build quality on this is the real one, isn't it?
What, given my ex-wife is from Caerphilly, 3 miles north of Cardiff.
Carefully.
Now, can I also make another addition here? What annoyed me even more was even when they tried to introduce a romantic episode into the film.
Are we going to watch any of this? Is this actual reaction video to anything? Have we got anything lined up?
Was there a romantic interest? Was there?
Well, there is a romantic because they're having a barbecue or a fire.
Oh,
some kind of. It looks a bit like Gotham City. They're in a kind of old barn or something, an old kind of abandoned.
Actually, that's pretty close to Splot in Cardiff.
And then so he meets this girl and they start talking away, but she's not even particularly attractive. And I thought, I think, come on, this is supposed to be in the movies.
Are we talking DAI here?
At least
you know, all these games where you're not allowed to have a chat with women anymore. You can have a man. I'm not talking about the acolyte at all. I mean, but you can have several men with rock hard abs and zero body fat and have their tops off, rocking around. And I think it's quite interesting because 99% of everyone in those shows are lesbians. They've still got a man with rock hard abs everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm
They couldn't even
saying,
get-
I'm
they made it a
saying
romantic
nothing.
part.
I
It's
mean
boring.
nothing. But
Is
I
that
think it's
what?
interesting to think
Is that the
about
chick?
it.
Could have been.
Who's
I
that?
couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
that's the love interest, I think.
Yeah.
Maeve
Oh,
Caulfield-Lewis.
okay. Yeah, she looks very nice.
Yeah.
It just was as dull as ditch water. I
But-
mean, the whole. I got what I told you. I gave up after about 3/4 of it. I couldn't take any more.
You've not even seen it. We're
Anymore.
meant to be reviewing it.
It was the biggest load. I know it's easy to say it's a load of rubbish, but it was the whole thing put together. Ridiculously close races that are just unreal. Then terrible. He had this.
Have you got any clips? Have you got anything?
I don't have any clips other than what you've got there on the trailer. But remember, he has this ongoing feud as well with another racing driver who's trying to beat him.
Oh yeah, the big Chad.
And they're always trying to be nasty and all that kind of thing and all this nonsense to make it like a kind of schoolboy type program, a kind of schoolboy story.
Well, this is meant for that. All right.
Yeah, I think it has been made for children.
No, it's not been made for children.
People with the IQ of children.
Monologue coming up. You're next. You're going to say something much better than me, but I'm going to say this. This has not been made for children. This has been made for what the moronic idiots that can't write think children think or want. Okay? That's what it is. I've had a problem for my entire life, even when I was a kid, being patronised as a child. Okay? So you've got a couple of kids. I've got a couple of 3 kids. 20-odd nephews and nieces. Never in my life have I patronised a child.
Yeah.
What they know is what they know. But that doesn't mean they're stupid.
Yeah.
So you get some idiot person that's too busy being... I want to think of the words that's really nasty and says that they're stupid. They're too busy worrying about what clothes they're wearing or whether they look good to society or whatever, or listening to the latest thing. They've never interacted with a child in a real way in their life.
Yeah.
Because if anyone actually interacts properly with a young person, they find out that they are actually really perceptive, very clever, and they might not have all the information, but this works. So an idiot comes along, I'm going to write this for children because only children play Grand Turismo.
Children, or do they just think
Stupid people, idiots. That's what's happening here. They've written a film to patronise young people and not appeal to older people.
Yeah.
That's what's happened here.
Yeah, I don't know when they sat down who they thought the film was for. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be for.
I kind of feel because for the actual original kind of person that it's about, Jan Mardiston, he's actually a decent driver and has gone on to do pretty well in his career. And I kind of feel they've done him an injustice because they make him look like he's the most boring and unlikable, kind of totally wooden character, which he's not. It was really badly done. And I've watched a lot of movies that at least they can show a bit of emotion. I mean, even like Ford versus Ferrari, that was pretty good with Christian Bale, and had some big name cast.
It's a good film. The racing sequences were awful, but it was a good film.
Yeah, and I think it's very difficult though to get good racing footage, though, isn't it, to make it believable?
Yeah, I'd like if we got the time to sort of show you the trailer that I showed you earlier.
Yeah,
149. That's why I showed you basically to try and get you to. I thought it would be interesting in this conversation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, because the new F1 movie is going to be quite. It has all the same traits in many ways. It was so. You've seen the the trailer. Yeah,
John, did you look at that clip I sent on
I
there?
watched the first bit of it. Yeah, I was just watching it just during the
Yeah,
film.
the first bit of it was just like it's almost like they put the worst bits at the beginning and then they got
Well, I
better.
haven't seen the rest of it, but that was terrible.
Oh, you need to. So we should definitely watch that because on my YouTube feed it came up with Martin Brundle. We all love Brundle. Brundle's
he wanted a cameo in it, and they were trying to get him a cameo.
Well, Brad Pitt basically turned around and said, "You're going to get a cameo." You know, I don't know. I hope so because Brundle's
good. He'll be the best bit in it. To be fair, he'll be one of the best.
But the first 18 seconds made me guffaw and laugh my head off. It was just like something I've learned from Critical Drinker and a bunch of other these people is that you can't write a character that's more intelligent than you are as a writer. So we're seeing this. We're seeing this in The Boys season 4.
Oh yeah,
I love The Boys. I thought The Boys was so good. I mean, I didn't even notice the DEI bullshit because it was so crazy and so good. It was so subversive and just frightening. Actually, frightening. If you imagine someone with almost infinite power, what would they be like?
Yeah,
and they got it. They got it. And there's scenes in that where your guts going, holy shit, what the hell would happen here? If you've not got an iron will and an iron constitution, you would just crap your pants and freeze. You know, it's like a World War I trench situation where you're faced with people shooting you. I mean, genuine, total, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then series 4, and it's just so bad. It's just like...
Yeah, they say they've totally killed it
They're
off.
just completely... Even though it's still quite good. I mean, it's got really... A lot of people are watching it. But it's so... There's bits of it that are so...
I think they could have
there's
finished
one
it with
scene. You got these people. You got like an Hispanic woman and you got a black woman, and they're talking about how they've got to make the white man pay, and the only way they can do anything is by making them pay. And it's like, oh, this is sick, man. This is sick.
I know it's gonna.
I'm not talking about. This is literally just sick.
No, it's nonsense.
Sick in the head. The writers. But they've got one of the characters is meant to be the smartest person ever. That's the sort of superpower. Superpower is that they are super smart. But the thing is, it's because the people writing it are as thick as pig shit. The only way they can make this person look smart, it's not even the previous method. The previous method was to make everybody else look stupid. This is the new method where they go, I'm really smart. And then someone else goes, yeah, you're really smart. Yes, you're... It's like, so, John, how tall are you, please?
5'10".
5'10". That's an excellent height. That is... scientifically, I will say that is the perfect height for a sportsman. Because you don't have all the problems with the lower back, and also it's like a really good height, actually, 5'10". Okay, I have decided I'm going to portray you as 6'10". So how can I do that? I can't do that. I can't do that on the screen by having you next to people. 6'10's too tall to have you on a box, like certain Hollywood Scientologists. So all I can do is say. And get everybody to say, John's 6'10". Yes, he's 6'10". Well, is he 6'10"? Yes, he's 6'10". Oh, well, what an amazing 6'10" man he is. And he's a girl. Yes. And he's got boobs. And he has... That's what they do. They literally... in this... Okay. You might have moves. I don't know. I haven't seen them. But the point is, that's the writing level of that show because they are, I guess, they're employing the stupidest people on the planet.
You made a good point earlier, which was that a writer cannot write characters which are more smart than they are. Yeah. And actually, that struck a real chord with me because I'd never really thought of it that way before. And if you've got dumbass writers, then you're not going to get smart, interesting characters.
And I didn't get
That's
this.
Probably where Gran Turismo
has failed.
Yeah. This is the problem. I haven't got. I mean, I didn't think of this because I've kind of like toyed with the idea of writing, but I've shied away from it because I never thought I could do a good story. Mm-hmm. You know, I always thought that what I demand. Okay, I've got a bit of a problem, and I've had this. I can remember this in secondary school because I used to have to write essays and stuff, and I always picked the same author that I wanted to emulate. And the problem is, the author I picked was Professor J.R.R. Tolkien. From the age of 10, I've been reading his books. Actually, earlier, because I read Farmer John's Ham much earlier than that. But so Professor Tolkien, and then it was C.S. Lewis, and then it was Douglas Adams. These are the books that formed my youth. It formed my sense of humour. It formed my way of thinking, actually. So it's not people going, "Oh, you're a bit obsessed with Tolkien." No, I'm not obsessed with Tolkien. These people literally form the way I think.
People aren't going to associate Tolkien and the writings of Tolkien with Gran Turismo, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, but you see, the problem is
unless it wins something at the Cannes Film Festival.
Gran Turismo, the screenplay written by J.R.R. Tolkien. You know.
No. I don't know how you got there, for God's sake. This is not where I'm going. The problem is that I have never. Every time I think of whatever the hell I can produce, and I've had friends telling me we should write a book together, but it doesn't matter because I know I can't do that. And it's not. And over the years, I've realised that okay, you don't have to do that. I've read a lot of books since, but that's always in the back of my mind.
You write very good reviews. You're nearly as good as Hugh with his reviews.
I don't write. No,
special
I don't write anything. I don't write anything. I've written a bunch of things, scientifically, but I've not written anything.
So
you reviewed the hot dog stand in Manchester.
Can we bring it back?
You reviewed the hot dog stand in Manchester.
That was a video.
You wrote down it had lightsabers or something.
No. Oh, do you mean on the Google thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, but that's not a book. Come on, what the hell? So I when I heard this, you can't write something more intelligent than you. It really hit home. Yeah. Now I'm rewatching Babylon 5, and I love Babylon 5, but some of the stuff, some of the lines, some of the stuff is like J. Marco Straczynski. Yeah, you're not as good as you think you are, mate. You're not, because you're not Tolkien. And Jackson was not Tolkien. I'm sick of seeing Critical Drinking, all these people talking about Jackson's films as being these fantastic paragons of someone that loved Tolkien. Did they shit? Did they?
Try and give it on a
They're not even in the same ballpark. It's like, what the hell? This is like watching Bugs Bunny compared with.
If you're an avid reader,
or something,
issue with it. But there are a lot of people who have not read the books, or who have a brief idea of the books. They've known a story.
Yeah, and then what's the films?
See the
what's
film,
the films? I think that's the books. I don't know Tolkien because it's like I've seen the films.
Yeah.
And other people.
But I think getting back to Gran Turismo, which is no relation to anywhere form.
It was a meandering way of getting back to it. These people, not only are they not clever enough to understand basic physics of racing, or even how stupid are they to think that your own pit crew wants you to fail.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous.
Oh, you're shit. We get put in this car. You're crap. You're going to fail.
Yeah.
Well,
They needed...
another team might say that, but they shouldn't, and they wouldn't ever.
Yeah.
They might not connect with a guy. They'll never just come out and say that crap. Ever, ever, ever. And then, of course, they have no idea about actual racing. Well, we know all these races, but they haven't got the brains to understand anything about the racing. They don't have no idea how hard it is. You need someone that's a racer to write it. That's what you need. You need someone that loves sim racing and is an actual racer of real cars. Even if they're rubbish, they'll get it. They'll get it. They'll get the fact that when you put your foot on that brake, they might not even. Well, as if they're a racing driver, they'll understand. You know, this is the braking distance of a normal brake pedal, and this is the braking distance of a racing car.
Yeah.
And when you're doing 200 mile an hour into a corner, what you're talking milliseconds to do anything. I mean, I'm not jealous of people being better than me because I know I'm no good. And the reason I'm no good isn't because I'm a bad driver. It's because what you need to do to be able to control a car with those braking distances, the mechanics of that car, the grip you've got, you know, if you've got any understanding of those grip levels, if you've got any understanding of how slip angle works, if you've got any understanding of anything at all, you don't write that scene.
Yeah.
Or if you've got any kind of not decency, what's the word I'm looking for, John? Where you know, when someone's got some kind of integrity. If you've got any integrity at all, you don't write that scene. You write a true scene, even if it's. I get that in a film you've got to take liberties.
You know, what was interesting is that even in the Senna film, which was really more of a documentary, but the way they did that with the music and the clips for the interviews, that made it give it an emotion. It gave it a kind of, you were really interested and you knew the story, you knew where it was going when it was leading, but it made it interesting. And I remember watching it at night at the cinema and thinking, God, this is just fantastic, because to see a proper film and to see a great racing driver like Senna and that whole era portrayed in you know, on the screen, with the noise and with the atmosphere and all these famous things that you remember seeing, was brilliant. And it was really quite it was a great film. It took you on that ride. And I don't think it was just because it was famous people in it. They just did it really well. I think they made the story work.
Nothing to do with the people in it.
You know?
Actually, I don't even remember any of the people, because maybe it's because I've spent my entire life listening to these people.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think there was actors in it. I think it was just films.
No, it was all real people. It was all real people.
Talking to people that knew Senna and were there that weekend and tried his career.
Yeah,
but they made it like a movie. The way that
it was aimed at a completely different audience. I mean, non-idiot.
What's the name for it? Is it docu something?
Yeah,
there is. I can't remember what it's called. But
docu-film. I've just invented that. If I didn't, I want to get some money for it.
A lot of people watched it who were not F1 fans. You know, a lot of people went along to see it and thought it was good. You know, because it was interesting, and I suppose because it's historic as well. Because anyone who's an F1 fan remembers that May the 1st. That, but you know, it's kind of. But no, I mean, that shows you what you can do.
Here's a thought. Here's a thought, Hugh. A genuine thought, right? That F1. The Americans running F1 are reaching for jeopardy. They're reaching for emotion. They're reaching for these things. Maybe they need to watch that. But sorry, I'm understanding things as I go along.
Yeah.
The people doing F1 now do not understand how real emotion, real engagement, real jeopardy works. They think it's a very simple thing. They think if I make it look like something's happened, even if the whole world can see it's bullshit, it will give us. It's literally like the idiots do. Well, actually, I think the idiots doing Big Brother have more idea because they have psychologists working out what they can say or do.
And you know what it is. It's less dishonest. I mean, the F1 is quite contrived at times.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna have to go because I've got to get some food. I haven't eaten at all. So, but it's been really good.
We'll round it up. Let's round it up.
So, Hugh, thank you very much for hosting. Rue, I appreciate you. Funny as always. And thanks for a great night. Take care.
Good to see you, John. You take care. We'll see you soon. There he goes. He must be starving.
I mean, okay. Love you, John. Always. What the hell's going on here? I've got it backwards, haven't I? The whole thing about, honestly, the Formula One and how it's going and how it is and why I ditched it a year and a half ago is because it's so obviously fake. It's not like it's fake. It's just so obviously fake. But it's interesting what you're saying about the Senna movie. The Senna movie I've watched it 3 or 4 times. And every time I'm brought to tears. Every time. And I'm not a Senna fan. It's not like I'm sitting there going, he's the greatest driver ever, like a lot of people do. He was superb. Don't get me wrong. He was.
It was the charisma. He had the charisma and the.
Well, no, I disagree. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna challenge you on this to see what you think. You've shown me your video at Donington Park, Lap of the Gods. Was that charisma, mate?
Oh, it was skill. I mean, that was incredible skill.
It was more than incredible skill. That was skill beyond the bounds of what we would consider to be human.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's why people say Senna was so great. It wasn't his charisma. It wasn't anything like that. Charismatic people have been around in Formula One a lot. Yeah. What he did in that lap, what he did in his first Monaco race in a crappy back marking car, what he could do in the wet.
Yeah.
But then, unlike a lot of people, like let's take Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg got, was it pole in a Williams in the wet?
Yeah.
And he's like one of his first races, but he never backed it up afterwards. Unlike that, Senna backed it up afterwards with skill in other races.
Like 2 seconds.
It wasn't just charisma, mate. It was.
He was 2 seconds quicker than Prost at Monaco in the same car.
In the same car,
because
he had
a kind of divine ability to race and do pole positions.
Why is this not doing that? Oh, okay, whatever. There you go. He had incredible skill. He had natural talent. I mean, Hamilton used to say that he didn't see Schumacher as his sort of role model. He saw Senna as role model. He considered himself to have a natural talent. And if you want to take that as gold, then Verstappen's better than he is ever. Verstappen's natural talent. Verstappen doesn't make mistakes, and I don't like the guy. I think he's like
he's 100% in that way. Isn't it?
If you mix Hamilton's best time with Schumacher's best time, you get Verstappen.
Yeah,
he's willing to do anything to win.
Yeah,
which makes him disliked by a bunch of people, including me. I don't like that.
I saw a great picture the other day of Fangio and Michael Schumacher that must have been taken in the early 90s when they were at a Grand Prix. And that was a very iconic picture because at that time of Fangio still being alive. And of course, one of the times Fangio presented Senna, I think it was in Brazil, when he won one of the races in Brazil. When he won the Grand Prix there. And Fangio presented him with the trophy, which is a really kind of very emotional kind of thing because he got up on the podium with him. and that. So it was.
You know, as a fact, regardless of what anybody else thinks, you and I both know, Senna adored Fangio.
Oh yeah, you could see it.
I mean, I don't know.
You could see the
but
respect.
you and I know he thought Fangio was king, and I bet he thought Clark was pretty damn good as well.
Yeah.
I reckon Senna saw Fangio and Clark as like.
He said that Jim Clark was his hero. Growing up, that's why Senna came to visit the Jim Clark room in Duns.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That Senna was his hero. That Jim Clark was his hero. You know, and who wouldn't be? Because he was a sheep farmer. He was as humble and as ordinary, but incredible when it came to driving. You know,
and Senna, the thing that always strikes me, it's kind of crazy, I know, as a racing fan, the thing that strikes me about Senna wasn't his driving. Because, you know, like you get an amazing drivers, Jackie Stewart's not the best racing driver we've ever seen, but bloody hell, he's up there. But he had other skills, you see. He had other skills. He had this. And he was told from a very young age that he was stupid.
Yeah.
Take us to shuttle planks. He was literally kicked out of school because he was stupid. Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, but the man I used to see in interviews was not a stupid man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was called Thick growing up. Thicky was my nickname throughout the whole of school. So when someone's telling me, well, I'm not thick, obviously, and I've got qualifications to prove it, that's not my point. My point is that I've become sensitive to seeing someone's actual ability when you talk to them. You talk to someone, I mean, you know whether they're stupid or not. Just talking to them. I mean, and you also know when someone's full of themselves and they're not as clever as they think they are. You know, there's a list of things. You know, and someone is it's like when someone says that they're kind and then they're nasty to people. It's we can all tell. None of us are that stupid.
Be kind on their Twitter feed. Yes.
Yeah. Be kind. Love everybody. By the way, I hope you get shot in the head. You know, it's like whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, they come up with all sorts.
It's the same.
I just think they have not, to sum up the actual movie here at Grand Turismo, what we're trying to say is that they've done it, I think, too quickly and not thinking about the audience, not thinking about the story that will actually sit well with Grand Turismo players. Because I think maybe even some of the younger audience of Gran Turismo probably liked it to a degree, but it was just way too much. It was overdone in all the wrong places and underdone in terms of acting. It was really poor, and I'm amazed that they actually put a full stop to it. You know, they actually rightly said, "Yeah, that's ready for production. That's ready to go."
Have you seen the crap they've come out with lately? You know, come on.
I mean, it's I know, but
they're grasping at ways of making money because they're losing money hand over fist.
Yeah.
That's what.
I
disagree with you. I actually disagree with you. I don't think they did it too quickly. I don't think anything they did with the team they had would have made any difference because they have no idea what their audience is. It's like you were saying that they didn't seem to know what their audience is.
Yeah,
it's like back in the day, we would have seen something written brilliantly. I mean, okay, let's.
You used to like Car Magazine. You used to get a review in Car Magazine that was brilliantly written. Yeah. It was written like a work, not quite like a work of art, but it was like a proper.
No, it was. You know? LJK Setright.
Yeah, Setright. Yeah,
superb writer.
Yeah, and the pictures and the whole thing were.
The whole thing was a quality product.
Yeah, and you just can't get that now.
And then, they lost the plot because people started. I don't know. Anyway, I was going to say that.
Yeah, they're not. It's not. It's been done by a very general team of people who are just, again, probably marketing men and not really.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Back in the day, sorry to cut. Back in the day, you would have the creators of something who were very talented, usually very talented, capable, creating something, and then I've seen a million videos of how the studio execs that were obviously failed creatives going, no, we want it to be like this. We want it to be like that. So Firefly, which was one of the, I mean, it's almost universally seen as one of the best sci-fi TV shows ever, cancelled before the season ended. The DVD, however, of the 14 episodes has become a massive hit because it was brilliant. It was awesome. But even then, the executives go, we don't think the people will understand the way you've written it. And they altered the what's the word I'm looking for? The order of the episodes to better fit their brainless understanding of anything.
Yeah.
So I got them on DVD. I watched them in the order that Joss Whedon wrote them in because it was written that way. And it makes sense to me because it might not be. They did the same with C.S. Lewis and the Narnia books. Okay.
Yeah.
He wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was the first book.
Yeah.
The next book was what is it? I can't remember the name of the bloody thing, but it's Uncle. I always remember this because my nieces and nephews used to call me Uncle Andrew the Mad Scientist, and it was based on Uncle Andrew the Mad Scientist, who was the main character, and it was set in time before the first book, but it was the second book in the series. So you get these box sets of 5 books, and they've always flipped it. It's like, well, you know, it's not, they don't understand. You know, you patronize someone, they'll go down to the level you're expecting.
Yeah.
You
where,
challenge someone, people will go up to the. I was 10 years old and I read The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I read it in 2 nights.
Yeah, I think
didn't go down to something. You read The Hobbit, they go on about J.K. Rowling making these amazing books. They're written like baby stories compared with The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But that's what people expect of their kids. You know, it's what people. So that's the problem. They did this. They've done the same. They've done the same with.
Yeah, with Grand Turismo.
Many shows. You know, many shows. Babylon 5. And one of my favourite films, oh God, what's it called? they call it one of the best Star Trek movies. What's it called? Oh God, brain.
The Wrath of Khan. What was the one?
No. That's an actual Star Trek. We're talking a movie that's not Star Trek, but considered one of the best Star Trek movies.
Or Starship Troopers? No.
That was something else. That was a brilliant film, but God, give me a second. Galaxy Quest.
Oh yes, yeah,
Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest has been considered one of the best Star Trek movies because it was written as an homage to Star Trek. You know, even having the full of himself character as the captain and all that kind of stuff. That film was actually going to be even better. Even better than it was. But the executives screwed it. The executives decided, oh, no, people won't understand this. They won't do this. So they made them change some things. They did post-production stuff to it. They interfered constantly. The non-creatives. Now, what's changed in the last, let's say, 10 years is that now the creatives are as thick as the executives.
Yeah, so you got a double whammy.
It used to be brilliant creatives who could write amazing things and create an amazing thing, and then executives who were too stupid, because we all know politicians don't need the intelligence to be in their position. They just need to be psychos who can persuade other people that they should be in charge.
Yeah.
They used to be them interfering and ruining a film, and so many YouTube videos talking about that. Now, the people creating it are the ones ruining it because they don't have the ability.
Yeah.
Leslie Headland is a failed actor and writer.
Yeah.
But she's used some kind of influence. I wonder what that might be. Weinstein's personal assistant who saw nothing, apparently.
Almost like Heels Up Harris. That,
the problem is now the people... you can't fix something written by people too dumb to write it.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. This is not someone that's been pitched at the wrong people. This is not something that's been mistakenly something. This is something that's been written by people without a clue what they're talking about, thinking they had a market because they're too stupid to understand that the people doing the kind of stuff that you and I do, sim racing and racing, haven't got an IQ of 3.4. Their IQ's 80. They think they're clever, but they think they're clever. They think everybody else is more stupid than they are. But in actual fact, everybody else's IQ is 100 because that's average, 100-ish. And so they look at that film and they go, "That's dumb. What the hell?"
Yeah, no, it is.
I know I went off on one, but it's like what you said. It's just what you said was kind, as you are, but really not correct. Really not correct.
Well, I mean, it had the impression of being something that I think, obviously, yes, you're right. I think the people that were not great at writing the story, or they've had a very poor grade of lot working on the program. And I think they've probably done it because they think, all right, Grand Turismo is very popular just now. So it may have been rushed to a degree as well, I think, to try and get it out while it's still in a kind of popular mode.
Okay.
But I do think, the quality of everything on it was wrong. In terms of the script was poor, the characters were poor. There was no effort made to make them interesting in any way at all. And you kind of think these people would be interesting. Jan Magnussen would be an interesting person because he's so into sim racing. He's got skills. They could find something.
And a decent driver. I mean, obviously, he is actually a decent driver.
Really well.
He didn't end up in F1, but
he did GT.
22 drivers in the world for the 100,000 racing drivers is a very small proportion. So
they failed to get
any kind of even middle. I would love to be in middle racing. I would love to be able to be as good to be middle racing, club racing.
Trying to keep to the story. They failed to get anything original and anything interesting out of what surely would be a very interesting story of this young man and how he's been able to succeed from going from sim racing to real life motorsport. Okay. And because it's important, because a lot of people are looking at sim racing and thinking that could be their way in to motorsport. So they are wanting to be inspired.
It's not going to be.
But this film, I think, is just rubbish. It's just utter rubbish. And it's rare that, normally I would give stuff time, but I told you I couldn't get through it. After about an hour and a half, I gave up. I really couldn't take any more.
I'm not even bothered. I knew I would just get frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
I can't watch Rush anymore. What do you think of the film Rush?
I quite liked Rush. Not so much because it was of all the accuracy of all the racing. And I did like some of its funny moments. But the fact that I could take my mum and my in-laws to watch a motorsport movie and they didn't hate it. And they actually thought it was quite good.
What do you think about Apollo 13? You might not think this is connected, but Ron Howard directed both of them.
Yeah, I wasn't massively into that kind of space film, to be fair. I think I did see it a long time ago, but I can't remember.
Now, me and John are both, as you know, because we keep sharing stuff you don't watch.
Yeah.
We're both big into space travel and all this kind of stuff. And you and I are both into racing. And Ron Howard, I like Ron Howard.
Yeah.
I like Ron Howard. I think he's a good director.
Don't get me wrong. I like The Martian.
The problem I have is I know too much.
Yeah. See,
That's the problem. I know too much. Jim Lovell is one of my heroes. Nicky Lauder is one of my heroes. James Hunt. There's two people I grew up with that I remember.
Yeah.
Barry Sheen and James Hunt. And when they died, it really affected me. It really seriously affected me because it's like I found out today that David Soul, who was Hutch in Starsky and Hutch, died this year.
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I heard that. That's right. Yeah.
I actually remember the night that me and my crappy sister Alison found that show. It's right near the beginning. It was on BBC One, 9 o'clock. It was a Friday night. Friday nights, me and my sister were allowed to stay a bit later. Back in those days, 1979.
They had 4 channels or 2 channels or whatever.
3 channels. BBC One, BBC Two, ITV. But in those days, I was going to say something even more traditional. All the adults sat in the kitchen around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
We were in the living room watching the telly, and this thing came on. That fantastic music, that funk music, and that car. Now I know that car was awful. It's terrible. The Ford Grand Touring. I mean, it's kind of links in a way. There's the Ford GT. It was a terrible car. They hated it. It had terrible brakes. They altered the rear diff to make it look like it accelerated more. This massive V8 engine. It was so heavy. It's a terrible car. But you know what? It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I think that's why I love American V8s. Just the sound on the telly of that car. Yeah. And we ran in and go, Mum, Dad, this is an amazing cop show. Blah, 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 and ran out to go watch it. David Soul, and I remember on Top of the Pops, David Soul, he's a Northern Soul singer and all this kind of stuff. Hutch,
Yeah.
My brother had a jumper just like his, that big knitted jumper. And all this kind of stuff. These are people from these are formative years people.
Yeah.
So when I saw that film Rush, and I'm looking at James Hunt, who I'd looked into and knew was a pothead, knew was a very posh Lothario and all this kind of stuff. But I also knew Nicky Lauder. See? I also knew Nicky Lauder, and I had seen and read a hell of a lot about that season. And they made it out to be... Ron Howard made it out to be something it wasn't. And then Apollo 13... He made it out to be this. The drama wasn't the simplistic crap he came out with. There's a bit where they've got to do like a blast with the engine to get it to go there, and then they go utter nonsense. It didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Boom, done. There was no drama. They made out that one of the main characters, the guy that replaced, can't remember the names, sorry, but the guy that replaced the pilot, played by, what's his name, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
They made out that he was substandard. This is nuts. What the hell are you talking about? No one's substandard. The guy that the actual astronaut wrote the book, literally wrote the instruction manual on flying that spaceship. He was the most qualified person to do it. But they made out it was, all this drama. And so I get that Hollywood does this kind of stuff, but it's got to be believable.
Yeah.
In the world they create, it's got to be believable. And Grand Turismo, sorry, the film just isn't.
Yeah, it's totally unbelievable. It just makes it look a joke. And when I interviewed Tisney a number of years ago, and he was in the Grand Turismo project, he got right through to the finals And
Oh,
I
okay.
think he did the
Oh, I
Nissan
didn't
thing.
realise that. I didn't know that.
I think did the Nissan, or certainly, or Mikko Hazal did it as well. I'm sure they got into, they've done some driving days when it was based on the Nissan GTR and things, and so it doesn't really do them justice because it was taken, these guys take it very seriously.
Of course they do, and it's
so-
their career, and then
Yeah.
they're made out to look like they're just some kind of
Yeah.
moron. And
Yeah.
the problem is the human race is so bloody stupid. They believe what's on the screen.
Yeah.
They believe what's on the screen.
For example of how to portray a racing career and also a film about a real, about motorsport to the public. It was dreadful. It was hard to watch, and I would give it out of 5. I would give it about 1.5 if I'm lucky.
Which is what I found.
Yeah.
I find these things hard to watch because it gives me a visceral, a gut feeling of disgust. I honestly, because it's not just like, and you get comments. We'll get comments on this video. It's only a film, but it's not only a film. This is a portrayal of. It would be better if they hadn't said this was based on a true story, because people think this is what happened then.
Yeah, and
instead of understanding that this is a totally made up thing
with a tiny bit of reality in it, a tiny
bit of reality.
Yeah. So on that note, we will end our review of Gran Turismo.
I know, I've gone on a little bit, but it's like these things actually matter to me. This is a bit. I don't know if you realise this, how much these kind of things actually matter to me, because I have real issues with the way they portray real events, and I would rather they just, in the same way that I wish if Peter Jackson had made a film and he called it Rings of Things and then made his own story, which he pretty much did anyway, and it wasn't associated with Lord of the Rings, I might have even liked it. You never know.
Well, we'll see.
Everything that I see, because I know
we need to bring it to a close. It's an
so
hour.
Much about it. It matters
more than how longer than the film lasted. But in terms of being
I thought we were actually going to watch the film and do a reaction video. You did not sell this well to me, Hat-Trick.
No, not to worry. But still, for those of you still with us to the very end, you've done extremely well. Thank you for your support. Thank you to Ruth and to Jonathan.
That's the first time in ages. Oh my God! I wonder how many comments you're going to say he's sober tonight.
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I'm not worried. I'm just peed off.
No. But thank you for watching the Hugh Hat-Trick channel and our Gran Turismo movie review rant. It's been a lot of fun doing it. And Jonathan had to give up because he was starving. So he gave up a few minutes ago.
Terrible.
But maybe he's probably busy doing.
He should do intermittent fasting, and he won't matter then. So I presume. I mean, at least you can edit this, right?
I don't know. I might just put it out as live. We'll have to see how it goes. It's going to take me years to edit it.
I actually think that if you'd have recorded the bit before that, you could have taken that as a sort of.
That might have been better. We'll have to
wait. Better. I think it would have been more controversial.
Well,
it certainly would have been an extra thing you could snipped off and kept, probably for money, bribery. I don't know.
Well, we will see. But thanks to everyone who's watching, and if you've made it as well through a podcast, you've done extremely well. Bye just now, and we'll see you very soon.
Nanu. Can't do that.